Locker room talk, baby.
The locker room.
Jeremy Latimore, how you going, bro?
Good, mate. Good. Just watching the camp dog in action.
How you been, man? I haven't seen you in ages.
Yeah, good, mate. Just in the grind, footy, family, uni, keep myself busy, out of trouble.
Just had a kid.
Yeah. Oh, he's 2 now, but yeah, just had him.
New to fatherhood.
Yeah, new to fatherhood. Yeah, that's good. He's getting like more personality every day. He's at daycare 5 days a week, so he picks up a lot there. But no, he's unreal.
And walk us through what's it been like for you. I mean, I know you enjoyed a party or two before being a young lad. What's it like having a kid now? What's the differences?
Well, if you party and you hung over the next day, it's torture. He's in there at 7 o'clock ready to wake you up. But that'd be the hardest thing. But yeah, just fatherhood's it's the best, you know. It's so rewarding. And if you had a rough day at the office, to come home and see like his face, it certainly puts a smile on your face.
So he's 2 now. Have you started thinking about like preschools and all that kind of stuff and all those kind of hard decisions?
Not really. Not with my footy career, mate. At my 4th club, so I can't really think too far ahead. But yeah, like he's got a couple more years at daycare, and then we'll just see down the track where we end up and where he goes to school. So
you spoke about being at your 4th club now. So you've been a guy that's kind of like, you've been from club to club and you've really had to fight for your spot each week. Talk about what it's like for a guy that is clearly, you're a career footy player, NRL player, but in saying that it's year to year has been a real, I guess, you've had to fight for each contract. What's it been like talking about, because we see the glitz and glamour of the guys with the massive contracts that have, we just seen Cherry Evans sign, what was it, like an 8-year deal or something like that?
8-year deal, yeah.
Yeah.
I've had 8 1 years. So.
What's it like for you where you fight for a contract each year? You're clearly an NRL player, and yet your future is never certain, kind of thing. Yeah,
well, the best I think analogy of a rugby league season, it's an actual roller coaster. You know, from round 1 to 26. Your emotions like change constantly, whether it's how the team's performing, how your personal form is, and it's just and then if you're off contract, so I've recently re-signed for 2 years, which is great, and I actually did that contract myself. I'm managing myself these days. And but like last year I only signed a 1 year. Before that I had a 2-year deal, but I was injured for the first year, so when I come back I was again fighting for a deal. When I played with you at Dragons, it was a 1-year deal, and it's hard, Kempy, you know, like
100%.
It's good to get certainty in your life no matter what you do, whether you're playing rugby league or your job. And to now have a 2-year deal and with the family, it certainly puts my mind at ease, and I can relax a bit with my family, you know.
And so you started off at the Eels. And did you grow up in Sydney?
No, I grew up in Port Macquarie, so 4 hours north of Sydney, God's country. Grew up there, playing a bit of footy and bodyboarding, not bodybuilding. I always, whenever I say that, people go bodybuilding. They look at my body like I'm a bit skinny, but I was a bodyboarder there for a few years. And I moved to Sydney when I was 18. I signed with Cronulla, just lower grades.
So you've always been like, you've always considered footy is where you want to be, kind of thing?
Nah, no way. When I was a kid, like I started playing rugby league when I was 10 or 9. And when I was 15, I actually had the full year off rugby league and did the bodyboarding comps. And
so you were fully into the bodyboarding?
Yeah, I thought I was pretty good.
Michael Lupo.
He's a surfer, but anyway.
Oh, whatever.
But Damien King is a champion from Port Macquarie, bodyboarding champion.
Really?
Yeah, one of the fellas I used to.
I didn't even know that. We've been mates for like how many years? I didn't even know you were a booger.
Yeah, I talk about it. I used to wear the Port Macquarie bodyboarding association shirt about, but it's probably a bit small now. But yeah, so I did that, and I just love that lifestyle, and went back and played footy when I was 16, and by no means would anyone watching us play on a weekend go, I'd be the one that would play in NRL. There's actually like 3 guys from my under-16 team went on and played in the NRL.
Who's that?
4. Scott Duro, he played for Newcastle, he plays for the Catalans. Jacob Selms played for Cronulla, and Ryan Shortland. Did you play with him at the Warriors?
No, I didn't play with him at the Warriors. He was the year before, but he was with Melbourne before that, I think.
Yeah.
And I played against him at Norths. He was at Norths for Melbourne's feeder club in Queensland Cup.
Yeah.
And he was with guys like Adam Blair.
Yeah.
Greg Inglis, that kind of year that they came through. So, I played against him.
And from that, we actually lost the grand final.
With that team?
to our local rival who we hated.
There's some guy in a pub right now saying, I beat those four
NRL players. Of us. And there was probably another 3 or 4 actually moved to Sydney and played like Jersey Flegg and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Far
it was unbelievable. And
so is footy big there? Like, wouldn't it be like a kind of clash of cultures with the surfy kind of, booging, that kind of culture compared to footy? It's so different, or is it...
Yeah, a lot of the footballers surfed and bodyboarded, and then like the other way around, So definitely a bit of a clash of cultures, but everyone loved their footy, and the ocean. Like anyone that lives on the ocean just loves to get in the water.
And did you watch that video of the shark attacking? What was his name?
Mick Fanning.
Now, how crazy was that? Like so apparently the bit that you don't see is the craziest bit. They reckon when the wave comes. When the wave comes and you don't see him, that's when he was punching the shark.
Yeah, mate. Like it's crazy. Like to see it actually live. Like you can only imagine the amount of
family.
Yeah. Well, apparently his mother was watching it live on television.
Oh, God.
Like when that wave comes back down, you're thinking my son's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
It'd be a scary thought, but thank God he was okay, and the other Aussie surfer was all good, but next time you're in the
my God, it's gonna
in the surf, you'd be testing your metal there,
and it's gonna surely it's going to affect him a little bit. Surely he's going to be thinking twice when he's in there again. Like I don't know, when he's in a comp again, whenever he surfs again. Like there's going to be a time when he's going to be like, I don't know, thinking about that. It would be traumatizing, eh? Like, did you have any, obviously you haven't been attacked by a shark, unless you would have told me you would. Yeah. Like you would have exaggerated psycho.
Funny you bring that up. There was actually a dolphin once. Before, we used to paddle between the 2 breakwalls up there, so obviously the trawlers and that had come in every day, and who knows what had followed them in. And I remember the first time, me and my mates...
So you saw the dolphin thinking it was a shark?
Well, yeah, the first time we built up the guts to paddle to the other side, got to the other side fine, went across the North Wall, paddling back, we've been 13-year-old grommets, and we're about 20 metres from the wall.
Were you shitting it?
And... a dolphin's come out of the water. I honestly think I ran on water. I've never been so scared in my life. Then we realised...
Did you push your friend's head off push him off the board and just go...
boys, every man for themselves. But it was pretty scary. But then we realised there was a pot of dolphins and the heart rate went down a bit. But obviously, mate, I remember being on that break wall a couple of weeks after that. And
thinking about it.
No, I saw a fin, actual shark fin, come out at night, and I'm like, why did I do that?
Bro, and the thing about the ocean, I grew up on the Gold Coast, which was obviously a surfy town back then. It's with the ocean, you've got no control over it. If you're on the land, I don't know, you see some, let's say you're in Africa or something, you could see the line from a distance kind of thing or whatever, even though it'd eat you. Yeah. But with a shark, you're done. That's it. Game over.
I know, and you're in their domain. It's human nature. But I think I heard a stat the other day. There's more shark attacks in Australia than South Africa.
Really?
Yeah, and because I just know Jeffreys Bay is having great whites everywhere.
Yeah.
It's scary.
What did you see the interview after with the dude? He was crying. He was so rattled. Imagine seeing your mate in you're in the ocean all the time, so you know that the chances of surviving a shark attack once they actually come at you would be so small. Imagine seeing your mate just so crazy, man. I remember waking up on the day that it happened, and my whole Facebook newsfeed was just report after report. It's crazy, man.
It's very scary, and just especially for the loved ones watching.
My God. But they reckon They reckon that there's an infograph. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's an infograph, and it says the amount of actual deaths by shark, and it shows you there's let's say there's 100, and then it shows the amount of shark deaths by humans, and it's in the hundreds of thousands, and it just shows you how we make these huge deals over being attacked by a shark, and yet sharks getting killed left, right, and centre. And
it's the same as I think car crashes. You're more, I don't know how many times more likely to die in a car crash. Then they're always talking about culling sharks, and we take their main dinner, the fish. So it's payback.
So you started the Eels. You grew up in Port Macquarie. Yeah.
Yep.
You started the Eels, and then you signed with the Warriors.
Yeah, the Warriors. Yeah, so I was there for 2 years.
And you were there. Were you there a year before me, or you got the same year?
Nah, I think I was the year after. You left.
No, I was there with you.
No. You left. You 09. I come in 010. You were gone.
Bro,
I'm telling you your career here, but you weren't there because you definitely weren't there when I got there. Joel Moon, like Mooney and that were there, but you weren't.
I was there.
You were gone, bro.
I went there with Mooney.
Yeah, but you weren't there when I got there. I'm telling you,
bro. I swear to God.
Google it. Google yourself.
I thought we had a whole year together.
At Dragons?
No, at Warriors.
Nah, no way.
What? I swear to God, I reckon.
Where I met you was at the Dragons, bro. Come on.
I thought I met you at the Warriors.
Mate, your head's I don't know where you were at that time in your life. But
let's make a little gentleman's bet. I reckon we did.
Mate.
I reckon we honestly did. I think. Anyway, whatever. So you went to the Warriors.
Yep.
And then you were there for 2 years.
Yep.
And then you went to the Dragons.
Where I played with the camp dog, yeah. First time I met him, yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't a good year for me. And then you went to... So what was the conversation like? You went from the Warriors, where Ivan Cleary was the coach.
Yep.
And then, obviously, like, you didn't re-sign with him and you went to the Dragons.
Yep.
What was the conversation like when you went to Penrith and obviously you didn't re-sign with him when he was at the Warriors?
Yep.
Was like... Yeah, what was that like for you?
So at the Warriors, it was just a case of there was, like, better young forwards coming through, so... I've been in the system. I know how it works. So just copped on the chin and come to the Dragons. Got an opportunity there. And we actually played Penrith on a Monday night at beautiful Penrith Stadium. And, I just caught up with...
Beautiful?
Cold. Very cold.
I don't know if it's beautiful.
Nah, straight joint out there. And hard for the opposition teams to come and play.
Bro, I hated playing in Penrith.
Yeah, it's tough for opposition teams.
So cold. Yeah.
It's our domain. Not this year though. We haven't been playing that well there. But, so I spoke to Ivan, and it was just I think he texted me a couple of weeks later and just said, "What am I doing in
the future?"
Yeah, for like 2013, and I was just like, "Well, there's meant to be an offer coming through from the Dragons," and he just goes, "Oh, well, let me know what's happening," and then Steve Price went a bit funny. I didn't know what was going on there.
Yep.
And
I think so much went on behind the scenes that we don't know about with that.
Yeah,
because when Price came in, he was good.
Yeah, he's great at the start of the year. Then just the pressure cooker, NRL coach.
Everything changed. Like whatever happened there, I definitely think that there was more to meet the eye than what we saw with Pricey. Because as you agree, he was, how different was he at the start of the year?
Yeah, well, and it was probably hard to come in after Wayne Bennett had so much like success with the club and. He's one of the greatest coaches of all time, and
I reckon he's number one. It's not even arguable. I reckon.
Yeah, well, and the expectations are high from the fans, and
even Wayne said he was like he was his next, like as in he was
his pick, his predecessor, whatever.
Pick,
yeah,
so that's pressure in itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then obviously we'd lost a few players from that previous year's team and come in, and we didn't perform that well. I think we just missed the 8, but then. Come out to Penrith and it's been good so far.
So Penrith, obviously, like it's cold and obviously it doesn't have the best reputation of being a great place to go. What's it as in not club wise but place wise?
Yeah.
Sorry to everyone that's from Penrith, but jeez. What's it like? Like, I mean, are you really enjoying it being there? Is it like, because you live in Sydney, obviously, but travelling there, are you enjoying the grounds and all the facilities and everything like that? Like, is the whole package something that you've kind of found a home there, or? Yeah,
well, I'm very comfortable with the boys. I've got a really good coaching staff. You got Gus running the club, and then even on the Panthers brand side, the Leagues Club and stuff, you got Warren Wilson. He's come from
that Leagues Club is massive, eh?
Yeah. I think we got rated the number one brand in Australian sport, above Collingwood AFL club. So they're doing something right out there. And the facility's good. They're actually in the process now of building a whole new academy and where we'll train over behind the Leagues Club. So once that's built, we'll have one of the best facilities in sport, hopefully. So it'd be good. But the place in general, the fans are unreal.
Pretty passionate out there, eh?
Yeah, love their rugby league. nothing better than playing out there on a Sunday arvo with a full crowd. So hopefully tomorrow we play Canberra out there. It'll be good afternoon, and they just love their footy and make it good when you're out there playing.
Yep. And so you guys have had a crazy year. Like you went from one of the informed teams where people were thinking these guys are real contenders, and then my personal opinion is Matt Moylan gets injured, and that's when you guys start to struggle. That's what I think. But what are your thoughts on the year? What do you reckon's been the issues that you guys have kind of had with going so well and having such a good squad to struggling with form at the moment?
Off the back of last year, the way we performed with the amount of injuries we had last year, expectations were really high this year. Pre-season, there was, I think there was 15 blokes had minor or major surgery, so that really disrupted our pre-season. And by the time the season come around, we've won our first 2 games, and we're looking really good. And I think that disguised some of the problems that we did have. We just won our first 2, thought life was good, and then after that, I think we lost 3 in a row. Got a bit fragile. I think Sowie got an operation after the round 2 game, so that sort of messed that up, the continuity between the halves and our spine. And then Jamal Idris got injured, season ending, done his ACL.
They're two, you got your half he's essentially your attacking. He controls your flair, your attack kind of thing, and then you've got your weapon, your X factor. Those are 2 pretty big, and then you've got Moylan goes as well.
Moylan went, Seguiaro, Peter Wallace, so our spine, that's our key players. But we still we're winning a few games here and there, and we're waiting for the forces to come back, and we just keep getting injuries. We haven't improved how I thought we would. There's a lot of young guys who are learning how to play NRL week in, week out, and obviously they're going to be so much better for the experience come next year. But still, now we're still a chance to make the finals. So
where are you sitting at the moment?
I think we're 11th, but we're 2 points out of the 8.
Because it's really congested there, eh?
It
goes. It's your top 4, and then everything after that's pretty. 1 or 2 wins.
Even I think Manly just beat the Warriors. They're a chance to still sneak into the 8. So
crazy.
It's crazy the competition, how close it is. But I think 7 games to go. We need to win 6. You get 30 points. Generally that is a measure to get you into the finals. But who knows? You just don't know. With the close, the comp's so close this year. But at the moment, we just need to worry about playing week in, week out. And if we can build some confidence among the group, which I believe we can, who knows what can happen.
So you just got a 2-year deal. You're playing pretty much career best footy at the moment. What do you think are the contributing factors? Do you think that it is because you're at Penrith and you feel like you're at home there in the boys, or have you changed anything? What has been the real factors that have drawn this good form out of you?
Yeah, obviously experience. You learn what works and what doesn't work for you. The more years you play in the NRL, it's a as I said before, it's a roller coaster. It's a tough competition, and week in, week out, you have to get yourself up mentally, as well as physically. And when I was a bit younger, I maybe struggled with that week in, week out, and I'd play a good game followed by a bad game. But the last 2 years, week in, week out, I feel I've been really consistent, and that's something I measure myself on and try to bring to the team each week. I'm never going to be the star of the team, but if I can be consistent each week for my team, and they can rely on me to do my job, I'm happy with that. But since having my boy, my life's a lot more settled, and that's helped. And Ivan has been my coach for predominantly pretty much 2 years. Other than 2 years of my career, he's been my coach. So,
really? Because was he at the Eels when you were in reserve grade or something?
Nah. So just Parramatta and Dragons, them 2 years, he wasn't my coach. So I just feel he's got confidence in what I'm doing, and I'm really enjoying my football and playing with the boys out there at the moment, and expecting big things in the future. And I know all our fans do, so it's an exciting time.
So you've played just under 100 games?
Yeah, coming up to 100 games. So
that's going to be an achievement for you. I mean, especially with how the thing that a lot of people may not see or whatever is that you've got guys that are struggling each week to just keep their spot. They do the same amount of training, if not more, as the guys that keep their spot every week.
Yeah.
And so to get to 100 games, it's got to be a massive, kind of not a weight off your back, but I made it. This is an achievement.
Yeah, definitely. from day one you want to play one game, and then after that you want to play two. Yeah, and then like when I got to 50, I was like, wow, that's like pretty cool. And then like you try not to think too much about it, but it is in your mind. Like 100 games would be unreal, you know. Like, and once I had played NRL, I sort of reevaluated my goals, and I thought if I can play 100 games, that'd be awesome. And obviously the big one, I really want to win an NRL comp.
Yep. And do you feel that Penrith have the team to do that? Do you reckon you guys? Is this a close? Like, do you reckon you could do it in the next few years, or do you think it's going to take you a few more years to build up that talent, or do you think if you stay injury free, you guys are a real, you know?
Yeah. I think we've got the talent. We just need a bit of luck, and hopefully no one kills that black cat in the next month or so, and we can have a bit of luck. But yeah, we've got the players out there and players in key positions who have won grand finals, are capable of winning grand finals. So we're just a team who needs everyone to play their best footy, and we can do that. Trent Merrin will be there next year, and he's obviously he's got big game experience, and that'll be invaluable. Like, also we lost Brent Kite this year, and he's won 2 or 3 grand finals. And he's been a big loss, just the experience.
Yeah, 100%. Especially in the front row there. Like, having experience in the front row is so important, I reckon.
Yeah.
So what would you say there's distinct differences between clubs? Like, every club for me when I went there has definitely felt very like unique from each other club. But what are your thoughts on that? What has been distinct differences between each club you've been to?
I remember like just going from like lower grades at Cronulla to Parramatta. That was 2007. I first went there, and just the facilities and what they had available, like they just had a lot more money, and they really like looked after the players. And Cronulla was a struggling club back then. Like, they've come a long way since then. Then the Warriors, that was a little step back. Like, they were still behind over there, but then like they've got a billionaire owner now, I think. So they're obviously caught up to the pack as well.
Well, what I've been told is that the Warriors, the Broncos, and Manly, when they're on a good run, are the only clubs that break even or make a profit. Yeah, so it's pretty interesting to think that like most clubs don't make a profit, but you definitely like when I went to the Warriors, you could definitely tell with the facilities, like where some clubs don't have as much as other clubs.
Yeah,
it's. I reckon personally, I think that like, for example, I think Broncos have not an unfair advantage, but it is an advantage to have resources that other clubs don't have, I think.
Like, what did you find the difference between Dragons and like Broncos?
Broncos are like Broncos. They have like everything you could ever like. Just everything is so professional at the Broncos. I mean, they've got a Nike's their sponsor for one, so like all your gear is top of the line. All the facilities, they like all the training gear. I mean, I think they were one of the first clubs in the comp to have this. I think it was like made by NASA, and it's this thing that made by NASA, and it's a thing. It's why Darius got back so quickly. Yeah. And what it does is you've got a treadmill, and you put this belt on, and it carries your weight, so that when you've got a bad injury like Darius had.
I think we've got one of them now. Yeah, we got one of them this year. Like,
well, they had it like 6 years ago, or 5 years ago, or something. You know what I mean?
Well, when I was coming back from my ankle, I had to drive to Parramatta to use one there. Like,
oh, really? Yeah. What's it like running on those? Well, to explain to people that are listening, so this is a treadmill, but it's got like these suspensions which hold your weight. So when you're injured, you don't have to put on the same amount of weight that you usually would if you were just like running normally. Yeah. But your body still gets to be able to do the motion of running and healing the way it should heal. Because when you're breaking fibers and all kind of stuff, healing up, it heals up better and everything like that. But you can talk more about it. What was it like?
Yeah, well, I think it fills up with air, and you can determine what body weight you run at. So you can run, like, I think when I first come back, I had a syndesmosis injury. I was running at like 10%. Then 20% body weight, and then by the end of it, you're 100. Then you're ready to go on the field.
They reckon it takes like a few months off your injury.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Just because you can get the miles in your leg, and you're getting that confidence running, and before you're back on the field and you're ready to go, and that's the biggest thing. Like, when you're not running, coming back from an injury, then you're back on the field. Like, it's a shock to the lungs, 100%. And getting
you
them
can do
kilometers.
As much fitness as you want, but if you haven't got match fitness, it's so different, eh?
Yeah, but just getting them kilometers in the leg, like, so I think I'm pretty sure that machine is worth 100k. So it's it's a 100%. Pretty good investment though if you're getting played like Darius back on the field.
Yeah. Well, I think he got back in like 3 months.
Yeah,
and he snapped his Achilles.
Yeah.
And Darius is like a guy, because I lived with him for 3 years, or two or 3 years, and he's the kind of guy that like eats right, trains his ass off. That's what a lot of people don't see with Darius, is that he's probably one of the best like athlete trainers that I've probably ever trained with when it comes to like eating perfectly, training as hard as you can. That's why he's played so many games at such a young age.
You were similar, Kemps?
Yeah, more natural ability.
Yeah.
Actually, no. At the start of my, like when I first started, it was just like I just did whatever they told me to, and just enjoyed. It was, didn't really take initiative. But by later as I realised how much you had to train to stay consistent, that's when I really kind of had a mindset towards being, the best I could be, whatever it was. Kind of like what you were saying earlier with, each week you've got to turn up and play a good game, and so that means making sure everything physically, mentally, whatever, is as good as it can be. I remember Tatey said to me once, he said, and he got this advice from Wayne, he said that like if you take care of everything you can to the best of your ability, then nerves really shouldn't be an issue, because there's nothing else you can kind of do. So if you train as hard as you can, if you eat as well as you can, if you do all the mental things as well as you can, it's not going to be, as nerve-wracking when you do get on the field.
Yeah, the mental component is a big part
massive,
of it.
Massive.
That.
Tell me, what's been the change in your mindset, being, a young kid just enjoying his footy too? Because it gets a bit different too with a kid, because like this becomes more like, not only just is it footy, it's, you want to take care of your kid as best as you can kind of thing, so it becomes an added kind of...
Yeah, insane. Yeah, well, you've got to feed the family now. You're, like girlfriend or wife's off work, so you're in charge, you're the breadwinner. But just...
Do you think that's played a big role in your kind of form? Because it's been the last 2 years you played well, and it's the last 2 years, obviously you had
Ollie,
George.
Baby George. I think it is a part of it, but also I've just worked out, like I can't try and keep my preparation each week very similar. So like once I get to the game, I know I'm ready to go. And some weeks not as good as others, you can feel you're a little bit off, so
a bit tired,
go out.
Down,
and it's normal, it's a long year, but once you go out to warm up, you just got to feed off the crowd, feed off the boys, and by like the time game time comes, they don't care if you're not ready to go. Like you're paid to go out and perform, and the fans want to see their team win, so you need to like do what you can for the team.
So tell us about the first time when you were going to debut. You went from a guy that you said yourself, like, if someone saw you when you were under 16, you wouldn't say, that's the guy that's going to play NRL.
Yeah.
What was that like when you got the phone call, or you were in the meeting room? What was that like to hear, let's see, you're playing NRL this weekend? Like, what was that like for you?
Yeah.
And what was it like speaking to your family about it?
Yeah, well, it was round 11, 2009. Like, Nathan Kalis only pulled out 2 days before the game. And
you would have been rattled.
Like, because I remember he come up to me early in the week. He's like, "You ready to go? You ready to go?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I think so." Like when it actually gets like time for it, like you think in your head you're ready, then you're like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm ready."
Yeah.
But like Daniel Anderson told me on the Wednesday before a Friday night game, so it was a Channel 9 game too, so I was pumped about that.
Geez, you got a new haircut, everything.
Fresh fade, got the ears lowered, and like just when you tell your parents, it's the best feeling ever. And telling my partner Natalie, it was like one of the best feelings I've had, and like texting all the boys and letting them know, and obviously they all come down and watched. It was very special, and it was actually a golden point, ended up a draw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Hainsey whacked like a field goal from 30 out and just banged the crossbar, come back. I was like, But it was an awesome experience. And Daniel Anderson put me on in golden point too, so I was pretty happy with that. Yeah, it was
that's a good experience, man. Good experience.
Very nerve-wracking.
Do you still get the same kind of nerves? Is it still, or is it a different kind of nerves, because you've got the added pressure of you've been playing well and you want to keep that form up kind of thing? Yeah,
like each week the feeling's different. There's pressure on yourself to perform. There's not really pressure from the coach, but he's got an expectation that you're going to perform to a certain level, and you don't let your teammates down.
Like you're nearly at 100 games, so there's no excuse of like, and you're expected to lead the team in whatever situation kind of thing.
Yeah, well, that's like because we have so many young guys as well, So I am one of the older boys, so I'm expected to show the ropes, and like each week before the game, you do have a different emotion or like different buzz, and just once you go out for warm up, you know what, like it's game day, and that's probably the biggest thing when I finish playing rugby league that I'll miss, like the whole emotional roller coaster that is hard, but it is one of the things. Like I remember reading a quote like Michael Jordan, you live for the long bus rides, the trainings, the coaches you don't like that's what he says in the quote, and it's so true, you know. Like it's
and it's just, it's kind of like a thrill. If you can't, it's a certain kind of thrill of like, am I going to be picked this week? And if you don't get picked, of like you're facing that, like you face that kind of that setback, and then it's another thrill of like trying to work back into the team. Whereas like now, like obviously I'm not playing footy anymore. You don't get those shoes anymore. You rock up you wake up at 5, you go to work at 6. You know, you get yelled at by your boss or whatever.
It's like it's the best metaphor. The roller coaster. That's rugby league to a T, and a lot of people don't get to like see that. They just think it's the glitz and the glamour of game day, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and like a lot of boys, you know, do struggle with it, but it's like worth it for the good things, you know, and that's the stuff I look back on when I'm finished playing rugby league and really treasure.
Okay, so I've got some fan questions, but before we get to the fan questions, what do you do outside of footy? I know you're studying business at the moment.
Yeah.
What? How do you unwind? Like, what do you enjoy doing outside of footy?
Well, obviously, there's the study, and there's a lot of that, but family. But I don't mind going for a hit of golf. Yep. Not real good at it, but I enjoy it nonetheless.
Yep. Do you ever go for a surf or anything anymore, or not really?
I still got a board out there. It's about 10 foot long. I bought. It was way too big. It's torture. I can't even fit in my car. But when I'm back in Port, I love getting back in the ocean. But I'm actually planning on this summer getting out a bit more.
Oh, really?
On the the big paddleboard. It's massive.
And you on it, you'd be the friggin' behemoth.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a big lurch, and it still looks too big.
So are you studying business? So like you enjoy that? Is it like, because it's so different to obviously footy? Is it good to kind of use another part of your brain and switch on to things outside of footy and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've always not always, but like as I've got older, I've realised how important education is, and how short-term rugby league is in terms of like your lifespan of working, you know, like most people are retired by 30 or 25,
average games, I don't know if it's gone up or down, but a few years ago it was 40 games or something like that, which is 2 seasons.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's unbelievable. Yeah. So the NRL is a lot better, like with the emphasis on all the education and doing apprenticeships. And there should be, because that's, I think, the problem why people suffer when they finish playing rugby league, because they've got nothing, no backing, nothing behind them. Yeah. And it's like I'm 3 subjects from getting like a Bachelor of Business, so when I do that,
stoked as when you get that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, like it'd be up there with me and NRL debut. Really? Like I put a lot of hard work into it. My wife's very supportive, and she's actually done a degree, so like I can bounce stuff off of her.
Oh, yeah, that'd help.
Helps me with the old essay. And then
why is there love hard studying your eyes?
They've got a Graduates of League program as well, so they give us tutors, and like that first started at the Dragons, and that's why I still attend like the uni of Wollongong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like they're really helpful. And
also, the NRL actually pays for any education that you do, don't they? If you're an NRL player,
yeah, I've got a tertiary education allowance, so I'm able to buy a laptop,
that's cool.
All my textbooks, all my courses, like because they don't miss you with them. And obviously, I think that was part of Tony Abbott's new thing. The uni went up, so I feel sorry for the people out there who have HECS. Like it's crazy, man. It's a tough system, you know. Yeah. They're punishing people who are trying to get better with their life, like by attending university.
Well, they reckon that they did a study a bit ago, and the study actually said that tradesmen actually earn more money in the long run because they're not paying to do their degree, and they're actually earning whilst people are studying. Yeah. And also, a lot of people don't realise is a lot of doctors or even lawyers, they do their degree. A, they struggle to find a job. Yeah. And B, they're only getting about, like, not only, but they get about 70 grand. But you'd be thinking a lawyer or a doctor,
for the amount of time they spend at university.
Exactly. Like a doctor's degree, to get your medicine degree is 7 years. Yeah. And it's 7 years of busting your balls. To get your lawyer's degree, it's the same thing. It's a little bit less, but it's still just as hard. And you're getting paid 70 grand, whereas a fully qualified electrician is getting, like some of the guys that I work with that are fully qualified tradies are getting like 90, 80 grand a year. And they're they're sparkies. Yeah. And they're doing, and all they're doing is like it's a lot of responsibility to safety and all that kind of stuff. But Yeah, it's crazy. And to think that they're making these guys that are going, or girls that are going to uni to pay more on top of not actually earning that much when they leave is crazy.
Yeah,
it's
well,
crazy.
my wife's in her 30s now, and she's still got a HEC stat.
That's just bullshit, man.
Yeah, well, I think
paying to learn like that, like it's insane, eh? Like, and also like without them working, you've got no economy, and yet
punish the people who want to further their education.
Yeah, and yet guys that like don't even study, they don't have to pay shit back, and they
But that's our world we live in, mate.
Anyway, we'll get on to these fan questions, bro. I'll leave that one out, don't worry.
Yeah. You can start out there. It's funny.
Okay. Where is it? Here's a good one. Dreadlock Aussie asks, does Penrith know how to climb a ladder?
The wheels have been off. We're coming back. Yeah, nah. Give us time. It's been a tough trot, but we've got faith, and we hope you do as
well. Boy from the bush asked, how distracted are you by the cheerleaders?
Mate, what cheerleaders? I don't know. I'm a married man. We don't let on game day, like, I couldn't imagine any of the boys really paying attention to the cheerleaders.
You didn't really.
Their mind's not on the job if they are.
Yeah, 100%. What's the biggest change Gus brought to Penrith? That's from the same guy, because he said, in all seriousness, though.
Yeah.
What's the biggest change Gus brought to Penrith?
Because
you were there the year before he came.
No. I think he come the year before he got Ivan there in 2012. So he's been there since 2011.
Okay,
he's up there with Wayne Bennett. He's been in the game that long. He's had so
I feel
much.
Like he's the New South Wales version of Wayne Bennett.
Yeah, he is. Well, pretty much he is.
But Wayne Bennett's way better. But anyway,
he's had so much success, like as a coach, as a player, and now as an administrator. You know, so he's got the knowledge, and he's got the wheels back on at Penrith in terms of the business side of things, as well as last year we had a really good year.
Yep.
Things haven't gone to plan this year, but I have total faith that there's a lot of success around the corner.
Yep. Okay, so Fex G asks, have you ever tried to catch Moylan in the shower? Is that some kind of joke at the club? Or?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I've seen him in the shower, yeah. Good rig on the kid.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's in good luck.
Good nick?
He's all upper body at the moment, so
his
rig's looking pretty schmick.
I actually, I used to play with his brother. That he actually...
Benny?
No, Shane. I think it's Shane Moylan.
No, that's not his brother. Shane Moylan, he's from my area. He played up in Queensland.
It's not his brother?
No, they're not brothers. I don't think
same.
they are. Yeah, because he's a Koori fella.
No, is he?
Shay, then he went to Canberra. I bet you it's the same fella.
Really?
He was a mad touch player.
They look the same though.
Yeah, they do look like very alike.
I thought they were brothers.
No, they're not brothers.
Okay, whatever then. He played one game for Broncos.
Yeah, same bloke.
Is
it? Yeah.
I've been thinking they've been brothers.
No, they're not brothers. No,
like he's got blonde hair and blue eyes. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
My old man played with Shay's old man.
Well, I'm wigging out.
Yeah, North Coast boy, bro.
Which coach has been the most influential in your career? You've already answered that. That was from Chenoweth, and obviously Ivan.
That's not for us.
This is from Intelligent Comment. Is it true that what happens on the field stays on the field?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Nothing really comes. I know in the old school day they used to go have a beer after the game, but we don't really do that these days. But generally, if you see an opposition player, you'll say g'day, and there's not really much beef that I know
of. Who hits the hardest from the same person?
I don't know. Semi Mole is pretty hard to tackle. Actually, the young, like in terms of tackling, like Sia Tokiahu, the guy who plays for Roosters, young Islander guy, mate, he's unbelievably strong, eh? But who hits hard? We've got a pretty couple of good hitters, Plummy and Docker. I don't know. Sam McKendry hits me pretty hard at training. I don't enjoy running him.
Is he Ciro? He's
not Ciro. He's just a big, large man. I've just got to avoid him. If there's contact drills now, I'll try and avoid him.
Okay, this question's from Why Are You Limmy Room? And it says, everyone always picks Lats as the team pest. They also pick Mansar as the teammate they most like to laugh at. So I think we should devise a good trick to play on Lats to play on Mansour.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on what we could suggest?
Mate, Mansour is the best.
You know what pisses me off about him? He's good looking. He's like one of the best wingers in the game.
Yeah.
And he's killing it, and it just pisses me off.
Mate, looks good on the outside. There's not much happening upstairs.
That's because he's had everything handed to him.
Yeah, he's got everything else.
He's a good-looking dude. He's a good footy player.
He's a champion fella, mate. He's that funny.
Yeah, I have not heard one bad thing about him, actually.
You've got to tell him, though, he's hilarious when he doesn't try to be. If he tries to be funny...
Not funny?
Struggles. He's just got to, play to his strengths and not be funny.
I remember watching him... probably, what was it, 2012, and you couldn't tackle him. You literally could not tackle him. Since Minicello, I haven't seen a guy be able to shrug off people the way he does. And he would only be about 95, 92 kilos, about that.
Yeah, he's a specimen with his shirt off.
I've seen a picture. I'm jealous.
We've missed even our yardage sets coming out of our end. We've missed him.
He's invaluable because he just changes. He's like a Vadavai, but in a different way that Vadavai runs over people, whereas he
quick play the balls, penalties, offloads.
So
he brings it all, and he'll tell you too.
Really?
Nah, he loves his stats.
Bro, I'm sick of him being so good looking and good at footy. It pisses me off. And I think there's a few more. What's your opinion on the 8-man interchange and the shot clock that's just recently been talked about by Fishcopter?
8-man interchange, I think it's good for the game. I don't think it's going to affect front rowers too much next year with 8. Maybe when it goes down to 6 it will, but I think it's going to be more back rowers who have to be 80-minute players, or you're going to need your hooker to be 80-minute, or your lock.
That's going to hurt,
Yeah, so... but you're still going to have your front rowers making 4 changes, and then whatever else you want to do with the other 4, like maybe your back rower, or you need, I've got a 13 in Elijah Taylor who plays 80 minutes, so and even Chico's Cigaro, they're both 80-minute players, so we might have the luxury of being able to rotate our back rowers.
How much do you squat, bench, and deadlift?
Mate,
that's from the Psycho.
Have a look at me. I'm awful in the gym. I'm benching probably 40 kilo dumbbells. 45. I don't squat. I do TRX squat. Deadlift. I've actually got into deadlifts. I'm doing about 180.
That's all right. It's not bad.
I'm a battler in the gym. I'm a horse. I'm born to run.
Squatted 300.
Yeah, I heard that. That's got to be a lie. That's like leg press or something. There's no way Mez is squatting 300.
Bro, have you seen his legs? Are huge.
Yeah, he's wider than he's higher.
How many mirrors does Ivan smash with black cats under ladders each week? Have you told him all the bad luck might be presenting itself as injuries? That comes from Kami Inu.
Yeah, I don't know. We've discussed that. I don't know what to say. The footy gods will start smiling on us soon.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you think about your squad, Mansour on the wing, Idris to come back, Soward, Wallace. Wallace is a gun, great bloke, awesome bloke.
Yeah, he's good for a while.
You got Soward, who's an absolute gun. Was it good to see Soward go from, obviously there were issues at the Dragons, come to Panthers and start killing it again? Was that good for him?
Yeah,
was it good to watch that?
Yeah, he come in last year, and from Dragons, then he went to England. He was under a fair bit of pressure.
I'm so glad that because the media just unfairly pumps him. I don't even know why. He's a passionate player.
Yeah,
and you enjoy watching these passionate players. You look at a guy like Hodges. Everyone has their opinion about Hodges, but people like watching Hodges play because he's playing with passion and excitement, and he actually gives a shit.
Well, if everyone was by the book, it'd be a boring game. So you got to love them personalities in the game, and it's a shame that there's not more, and you're not allowed to be yourself more off the field.
I'm a bit. It sucks about the Sandow issue as well. I know maybe he said some things he shouldn't have, but
he's a personality player.
It's a personality player.
And that's it's. I think it's only good for the game. You need them sort of players in the game, but the games become so structured and wrestle orientated.
Like robots.
It is, but I think with that change in the interchange, it will bring the footballers back, which will be good. Okay,
just quickly because we're nearly out of time. Favorite rapper, past and present.
Favorite rapper, B.I.G.
Nice. Okay, nice. And favorite and present rapper?
B.I.G.
Oh, so he's always rock solid.
I'm recycling.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I I love white chicks, eh? I love Terry Crews. He's my man.
All right, man. It's been 45 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
So
time flies, having fun.
That's it. Oh, thanks so much for having me, bro. Having me in your house, and thanks for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
No worries, brother. Thanks for having me on.
No worries. All good, bro.